The world of big cats is one of mystery, power, and awe. From the regal lion to the elusive tiger, these apex predators reign over their territories with grace and authority. But in recent years, a disturbing trend has emerged. While these majestic creatures should be thriving in the wild, more and more of them are being found in captivity, most notably within the United States. In fact, many experts argue that there may now be more big cats in captivity in the US than in the wild. This shocking reality raises important questions about the treatment of these animals, the ethics of keeping them in captivity, and the broader implications for conservation. To understand the scale of this issue, we need to look at the numbers. Worldwide, the population of wild big cats is rapidly dwindling. Tigers, for example, are classified as endangered, with fewer than 4,000 individuals remaining in the wild. Lions are also facing a dramatic decline, with their populations shrinking by over 40% in the past 30 years. Leopards, cheetahs, and jaguars are all facing similar threats from habitat loss, poaching, and human-wildlife conflict. But while wild big cats are struggling to survive, the number of these animals in captivity, especially in the US, has been growing at an alarming rate. The United States has become a major hub for private ownership of big cats. It's estimated that there are over 5,000 tigers in captivity in the US, a number that far surpasses the global population of tigers in the wild. This phenomenon is not limited to tigers alone. Lions, leopards, and other big cat species are also being kept in private facilities, zoos, circuses, and even backyards across the country. In many cases, these animals are bred in captivity and sold as exotic pets to individuals who view them as status symbols or as part of a lucrative industry. One of the key drivers behind the explosion in captive big cat populations is the lucrative exotic animal trade. Owning a big cat has become a symbol of wealth and prestige for some people. High-profile figures, including celebrities, have been known to own these animals, further fueling public fascination with big cats. In some cases, private breeders and collectors breed these animals solely for profit, selling them to private owners, zoos, or entertainment venues. These individuals may not always understand the complex needs of big cats, leading to situations where the animals are kept in poor conditions, with inadequate space, nutrition, and medical care. Another factor contributing to the rise in captive big cat numbers is the lack of effective regulation. While there are some federal laws that govern the ownership of exotic animals in the US, they are often insufficient and poorly enforced. The Big Cat Public Safety Act, for example, has been proposed multiple times in recent years, seeking to ban the private ownership of big cats and restrict their use in circuses and entertainment. However, it has yet to be passed into law. As a result, there is a patchwork of state laws that vary widely in their restrictions on big cat ownership. In some states, it is perfectly legal to own a big cat without any special permits or regulations. In others, the ownership of these animals is highly restricted, but enforcement of the laws is inconsistent. This lack of uniformity has made it easier for individuals to obtain big cats, often with little regard for their welfare. While some big cat owners claim to provide a safe and loving environment for their animals, the reality is often far different. Many captive big cats are kept in small cages or enclosures, far smaller than the vast territories they would occupy in the wild. These animals are often deprived of the physical and mental stimulation they would receive in their natural habitats. The result is a range of behavioral and physical problems, including stress, aggression, and poor health. Furthermore, captive big cats are often forced to perform in circuses, petting zoos, or other forms of entertainment, which further exploits them for profit. One of the most well-known examples of this is the tiger breeding industry in the US, where thousands of tigers are bred each year for the sole purpose of being used in circuses, photo ops, or as pets. Many of these tigers are born into captivity, and they never experience life in the wild. They are raised in conditions that prioritize profit over their well-being, and they often suffer as a result. But the question remains, why are so many big cats being kept in captivity, especially in the US? Part of the answer lies in the fact that owning a big cat is not only a status symbol, but also a source of financial gain. Many people breed big cats to sell them as exotic pets, and in some cases these animals are sold for tens of thousands of dollars. Private zoos and exotic pet dealers often operate under the radar, avoiding regulation by claiming to be legitimate wildlife sanctuaries or educational institutions. The allure of making money from big cats, combined with the lack of regulation, has created a thriving industry that puts profit above animal welfare. But the problem doesn't stop at the breeding and sale of big cats. In some cases, big cats that are no longer wanted by their owners are abandoned or surrendered to sanctuaries. These animals often have behavioral issues as a result of their poor treatment, making it difficult for them to be rehabilitated. Sanctuaries, while well-intentioned, are often overwhelmed with the sheer number of animals in need of rescue. As a result, many big cats in captivity live out their lives in inadequate conditions, never able to experience the freedom of the wild. The consequences of this situation are not just limited to the well-being of the individual animals. The presence of so many big cats in captivity also undermines conservation efforts for wild populations. While some zoos and sanctuaries play an important role in breeding programs designed to protect endangered species, the large number of private breeders and owners in the US is having the opposite effect. By breeding big cats for profit, these individuals are contributing to the overall decline of wild populations by reducing the incentive to protect animals in their natural habitats. Moreover, the trade in big cats is fueling poaching and trafficking in other parts of the world. The demand for exotic animals in the US has created a black market for big cats, with animals being smuggled into the country from other regions. These illegal activities put additional pressure on already endangered species, such as tigers and lions, which are being hunted for their body parts, pelts, and bones. The trade in big cats is a global issue that requires coordinated action from governments, conservation organizations, and the public. In the US, it is crucial that lawmakers take stronger action to regulate the private ownership of big cats. The Big Cat Public Safety Act, if passed, would make it illegal to own big cats as pets and would prohibit the use of these animals in entertainment. This would be a major step in the right direction toward curbing the practice of keeping big cats in captivity and ensuring that these animals are protected from exploitation. The reality is that big cats belong in the wild, where they can roam freely, hunt, and thrive in their natural environments. Keeping them in captivity, whether for profit or as pets, not only harms the animals, but also undermines efforts to protect wild populations. If we truly care about the future of these magnificent creatures, we must shift our focus from exploitation to conservation. The question of whether the US or the wild has more big cats is a troubling one, as it reveals the dark side of the exotic animal trade and the consequences of human greed. Ultimately, the answer lies in the hands of those who have the power to make change. By supporting stronger regulations, raising awareness, and advocating for the welfare of big cats, we can ensure that these animals remain a part of our world, not as prisoners, but as the kings and queens of the wild they were always meant to be.